Hello, this is Tom from anti-proton.com, and many people on the internet show their radioactive collections. I thought I would show you mine. Now, I have a rule about radiation. I don't expose myself to very much radiation, very little, always the least possible amount I can get away with. I can't remember the old acronym that they go with. What is it? Shortest possible, least something or other. I can't remember what it is, but regardless, as little as possible. I keep everything I have radioactive sealed under, in a lead container of one variety or another. I don't allow the ambient radiation in my house to go up by even 1 count per minute anywhere as a result of anything I keep, anywhere. And I do monitoring all over my house. Even though I have one Geiger counter here with me right at this moment, I have another one that's continuously monitoring the house. 24/7, constantly recording all of its readings for any tiny little change. In fact, it'll probably detect these things I'm going to bring out right here. I also don't allow my radiation levels to be greater than 1 count per minute higher at a distance of 1 meter from the storage location, meaning the Geiger counter will detect more around the storage location, but no more than 1 count per minute higher on average, 1 meter from the unit. That's how strict I keep it. So you're not going to find me with a big giant piece of beta, what the hell is it? I'm trying to think what kind of pitchblende, for example. A big piece of pitchblende uranium, scanning it and going nuts with it or anything like that. By the way, I do hope to get a radioactive source disk very soon to add to my collection. 2 of them, a cesium-137. I might get a strontium-90, and I'm definitely getting a polonium-210. This little room I'm in is kind of hot right now, so hopefully I don't get all, sweaty. Here I have my stupid little sign proclaiming what I'm showing you today, which is my radioactive collection. Let's start. First thing we need is a Geiger counter. This is an SE International Inspector Plus EXP, standing for External Probe. I always use this. It's my favorite. I have a CRM 100. It comes with a probe. See the probe? Pancake Geiger Mueller probe. Highly accurate, very sensitive unit. You can plug it in here to get it set up. Let's do that. Plug it in. It's securely in place. Screw that in. Always get that good and snug. Cut on the unit. Takes it about a minute to become accurate with the readings. Plug in my external sounder. Turn that on. That ticking sound you're hearing is something hitting me that's radioactive. So let me show you my collection, because that's the whole point, is you want to see radioactive stuff. I have a less impressive collection than most people, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. First up on the list, radioactive tritium. Oh, that beep tells you we're ready. Radioactive tritium. You can't see very much with this. Let me cut the lights off. And I'm going to unscrew all of my bulbs except for my black light. Now, oops, cut this one off, and you might be able to see the radioactive material in there. It has a piece of it has a phosphorescent surrounding the inside of the inner tube, and that's what's actually glowing, but it's made to glow by beta radiation. Let me zoom in. If you see speckles, the speckles are the actual decays per second. See them? If you see the speckles, you might be seeing the decays per second. Well, the actual CCD camera will produce little speckles too, but to a degree, some of the speckles you're seeing are photons hitting the screen. The photons come from the phosphorus, which is activated by the radiation, that's just beta radiation, which comes from tritium. In this case, hydrogen-3, tritium. Neat! Let's cut the lights back on. Light 1, light 2, light 3, light 4. That hurts to do that. Okay. Let me sit back down again and hang my tritium up here. But first, let me show you the counts per minute. Alright. 52 is what I'm getting in here right now. The reason I have an elevated reading, because this is normally lower, is because I have radioactive items around me. It's giving me an elevated reading. I know that this is free of debris, so I'm going to place it on top. Normally I don't do this because I don't want to damage my probe. We're going from 44 counts a minute, 68. This is like not very much. I'll show you better stuff in a minute. 68, 66, not much. 72. Even with my really sensitive Geiger tube here, 82, it's just not going to get very much because it doesn't produce much. It's very, very weakly radioactive. It has a half-life of 12, was it 12 years, I think? So, give or take enough years, this will just be gone. Neat though, $6. Worthy of every little bit of it. Alrighty. By the way, this Geiger tube is so sensitive because it has a film of mica. Here's a piece of mica right here. The mica is a semi-see-through material that doesn't do very much to block radiation. And the radiation can pass through the mica, but the mica will keep in the gas, which in my case is neon. Let's make sure I get all the mica off of my hands. Mica. Yeah, not something you want to get in on your hands or in your eyes or whatnot. But anyhow, of course the mica that's inside here won't do that. Alright, next up on the list, something a little more interesting. Let's start with my rock. The good stuff is for last. There is good stuff, but it is last. Last, I tell you, you have to watch the less good stuff first. I still do not know if this contains uranium or thorium. I'm pretty sure it's one or the other. I don't know. See this little rock? I'll see if I can inject a screenshot image into the video here. I'm pretty sure I have one. I love this little rock. Whatever it is definitely readable on my Geiger counter. Let us put it down and scan it. And as you can see, 148 counts per minute, 172 counts per minute. It will keep rising. I don't know what is in this. I need to either. I've been trying to get a university to let me use their scintillator, but they keep telling me no. Of course, if you had like a sample of water from rainwater and you were worried about it, they'd let you test that usually. But just to test some random household items when it's not important, they usually say no or try back later. Well, I have one that said they would, but I have to try back later. They're not ready for me yet. So what I might do is just go to a private lab and find out what this is. Because you can just pay a private lab. You can always pay a private lab. They're always happy to help for money. So as you can see, whatever the radioactive item in here is, I only get a couple hundred counts per minute off of it, which is not very much. 300, 368, 390, 388. Yeah, we're not even breaking the 400 mark. So, oh, there goes 400. So whatever this is, always constantly check my probe for contamination. It is not very radioactive. I have labeled it uranium rock, but whatever the heck it is, I don't know. Let me pull it out and show it to you. It's not that spectacular. It is a beautiful specimen of a rock. It's actually a dinosaur bone. You can tell if you look closely at these little structures right here. These are the channels that blood would flow in right here. This is part of the dead giveaways to being an actual bone. Okay, but it is radioactive. A lot of fossils are radioactive. A lot of the ones you buy at rock shows and stuff, a lot of them are radioactive, so keep that in mind. A lot of people don't know that. Alright, next thing that's not as good, because the good stuff's coming. Here, let me make sure you can see all of this. Okay, good, you can. It's my good old potassium salt. I love potassium salt. In fact, let me show you here. I have 40 pounds of it. Why? Why not? I went to the store and bought a 40-pound bag of it that you use for a water softener. And here's part of the salt right here. 40-pound bag of it. The water softener. Watch this. It'll go all the way up to 500 counts per minute. This is way more radioactive than most of my other stuff. But not my good stuff that's coming at the end. You've seen my good stuff before, nothing amazing. Everybody else has a bigger and much more radioactive collection than me, but I like my health, so I'm not going to go too much more than this. This is emitting beta negative, which is a high energy electron. beta positive, which is a high energy positron. And it also experiences beta capture, where it captures an electron and emits a gamma ray. 548 counts. I think we're about to break the 600 mark. So close. No 600 mark. Make sure the Geiger tube is clear and clean of anything. Here's a little bit more of it. As you can see, here's a piece. It is obviously radioactive. Although from here we're probably just picking up gammas every now and then. In fact, if I put the cap on my Geiger tube, this will block a lot of the beta. A little bit of the beta is making it through now. The rest that you're getting there is probably gamma. And let's see, by the way, what the mica does, just for giggles. So as you can see, the mica does stop it a little bit. That's probably why they have such a thin layer on this. Alright, well those were neat things, it's true, but they just aren't cool enough. We need things that are much more radioactive. So far we've seen beta negative, which is an energetic electron with a anti-neutrino that flies along with it. We've seen beta positive, which is a positron, which is an anti-electron, that has a regular neutrino going along with it. And we've seen beta capture, where an electron spirals into the actual nucleus and emits an actual gamma ray. These are neat things, but they just aren't cool enough. Alright, well this next one's not massively cooler. We're getting there, I promise. You can dislike the video, click the dislike button if I don't show you something cool at the end. If I've lied to you, then you can hit that button, but don't click it yet, because you don't know yet. And if you do like it, click subscribe. But I never ask people to subscribe usually. I'm just hoping they might. This is granite. I have lots of granite. See these slabs? This slab comes from a place that makes granite countertops. They take the granite countertop, shear it off here, see? They put this weird crap on the back of it. I measured this guy as... I called it Vermont, I guess, because it looks like the state of Vermont. I think Vermont looks like that. And I measured 17.66 counts per minute off of my CRM 100, so this run right here should be 50 or 60 counts per minute. Wow. Impressive. Not. Depending on where you put it. All of my granite countertop samples are radioactive except for one. But I do have an extensive collection of them. I would like to point out I have an extensive collection of granite countertop samples. This one's 100 plus. All of my granite countertop samples are nice and radioactive. Isn't that cool? It's nothing amazing. It's not, you know, Fiestaware or something cool like that. It's not a radioactive source disk, but it is still kind of neat. Alright. The room will have to be vacuumed and decontaminated again. This happens way too often with me. Now, the highest thing is coming in just a minute. The very highest thing I have is last. You'll see it in just a minute. But first, we're almost there. I have three more things to show you. First up on the list is this. I don't know what this is. If anybody knows what this is, tell me. Please tell me what this is. It could be canary glass. It is definitely not depression glass. It's not the right color. It could be Vaseline glass. Whatever it is radioactive. It is very much radioactive, whatever it is. The question is, what is it? What the hell is this? It does not fluoresce under black light. Depression glass fluoresces under black light. This does not. What the hell is it? Probably has uranium in it though. 714 counts per minute. This is probably getting about as high as it's going to get. Yeah, 650, 700, somewhere in there. But look, just like depression glass. Now, no alpha, only beta and gamma. In fact, let's do the old-fashioned alpha test. The old-fashioned alpha test was the old piece of paper, right? Always a piece of paper. Here, the sticky note should provide that. Come on now. This paper's not doing anything. I don't know. I mean, I feel like it should be uranium. If most of the glass that's like this is uranium. But it's not stopping much of anything. So if there's alpha, there's not much alpha coming off of it. Oh, look at that. No, it did go up a little bit. Did you see that? It went from the low 6s to the high 6s, approaching 700. So I guess it is a little bit of alpha. That makes this probably something with uranium in it. I've eaten dinner off of this thing before. Well, not dinner off of it, but I put some food on it while I was eating dinner one time. I bought this for my friend. He had it in his house for years with several other ones. The cats used to eat off of it occasionally too. Isn't that great? I didn't have a clue about this, by the way, when I first used it. Next up on the list, a piece of depression glass. We'll shut the light off and show you in a minute. Look at this beautiful piece. I love depression glass. I really do. It's got some crusties on it. This one has a little crack in it. It's important when you have a crack in this stuff not to let it get out anywhere. This is very, very much radioactive. Should get up to about 800-900 counts per minute, and then stop there. My background's a little higher than normal right now, so it's going over 1,000. Yep, 900 to 1,000 counts per minute. And from just a few inches away, almost nothing. Look at that. And of course, when you put this lead in between it, this is lead, by the way, inside of this aluminum foil. That really makes a difference. God, that looks nice. But now the ultimate piece de resistance. This little guy. I love this piece of glassware. Look at that. That just looks awesome. And it's the highest piece of radioactive glassware I own. Let's move it out of the way for a minute here so it's only picking up that. This is nowhere near the most radioactive thing I have. I've got a little bit more than this. You'll see. $1,200. $1,400. 1,500 counts per minute off of this thing. Now, let's put the glass back out again. Now let's cut the light off. And let's see what it looks like under just black light. Out. Yes, unscrew light bulbs with your skin. It feels good, right? Ow. Pain, ow, suffering. Alright, there we go. That is entirely not working out the way I wanted it to. Let me move this light just a little bit closer. There we go. Wow, everything else in this room lights up like a Christmas tree when you do this. As you can see, this lights up big time. Look at that. Look how beautiful. Look at that. Looks so nice. Used to be cleaned to put it on a display case. But look at this. You know what? I think it does fluoresce a little bit. It's kind of weird. Look, if I put something behind it so that the green's not shining from this at all. You probably can't see that in the video. Maybe just with the naked eye. But I see on the edges of it just a little tiny bit of green every now and then, and I wonder, I don't think it's picking that up from anything. I think it is fluorescing. I think this may be like Vaseline glass. That's what I've been thinking for a long time. And I think it is. Of course, this glows. And look at this. Not radioactive at all, but look how it glows. Alright, well, that's fun. Let's get the light bulbs screwed back into place. Ow. Ow, pain and suffering. Ow. Ow, pain and suffering. Ow. Lights back on. Let's make sure you can see fine. And let's move this back and prepare for the ultimate object. Alright, the ultimate object is coming up. These are neat. Put them away. Put my lead in between me and them, which is important. I like to not be completely blasted by stuff. Now, let's bring out that which is truly radioactive. This is that thing I told you about at the very end. You've seen this before if you've watched my videos. This little guy is a radium compass. Let us pick it up. As you can see, it is a nice specimen. Looks good. It doesn't glow in the dark or anything. Let's see if it fluoresces under... I just undid these lights. Ow. Ow. Ow, pain and suffering. Ow. Anything? Let me just personally check. Not a damn thing. I swear. It doesn't fluoresce at all. Ow. Ow, ow. There's got to be a better way to do lights than to unscrew them with your hand. Ow. Well, there. Now let's put it down here. Let's see if it's radioactive. I'm gonna go with a yes. Wow, 3,000. 4,000. 5. 'Let's change this. We'll cut this off. I normally like that one. Maybe this will sound a little better. That sounds better with low. This sounds better with high, I think. 4. 5. 6. 7. see what happens if I put it like this. The most I can. $6,000. Wow. 7,000. I know we can do better than that. Damn it, it's not going to do better than that. Let me just test this. I'm just curious. Oh, that's not accurate. Of course, you can't use milliampere per hour because I don't know the energy this is putting off. Well, I do actually if it's radium, but it's too complicated to just sit here and try to guess with this. So this 2 milliamperes per hour is not really correct. Remember I said about energy units you can't know? Well, you could mathematically figure it out, but it would take a while. Let's do this. That's cool and all. Let's switch to SI units if we're going to go this high. Go into the menu. Counts per second. Alright, we are now in counts per second mode. This will give us counts per second. At this point, I think we're good enough for counts per second. Usually you can't use counts per second. Today we can. 56. 70. 80. Just hit statistical accuracy 94. Can we get 100? 105. This compass is more radioactive by so much more. I mean, every second it's putting out the same radioactivity as a good chunk of this whole piece. Every second. 120 counts per second. Wow. Now, see what the paper does. Let's fold the paper. Probably nothing. Doesn't seem like it, because even though it's alpha radiation, there's a hell of a lot of beta and gamma mixed in here too. This is not pure alpha. Not even close. Look at that. That's terrible. Interesting question. I've always wondered this, and I never thought about testing it until now. I wonder if the radiation would make the phosphorus on here glow even more than normal. No. Oh well. So, as you can see, in the inappropriate microsievert scale, since we don't know the energy, this really means nothing. But I was curious to see how high it goes. 6, 7, 8, 11. Of course, that's inappropriate. There's really no point in using it. I just thought it'd be funny to look at it. Well, counts per second. And then nothing. Alright. So that, folks, is my radioactive collection. This compass is from 1917, and it produces all of the radiation, all three major types of radiation. Alpha, beta, gamma. So that little guy there is as radioactive as a source disk. At 7,000 counts per minute, let's see, assuming 7,000 counts per minute, and then assuming that I had 100% efficiency at detecting it, which I'm sure I don't, but assuming I did, that would be like what, 2 microcuries or something like that? I don't remember off the top of my head. It's a pretty good amount of radium. Can't see it anymore. It's probably degraded in its daughter products. Alright. Well, anyhow, so of course this is Tom from anti-proton.com. Let's see what aluminum does. Probably a good amount of this is gamma. It's going right through the aluminum. It's terrible. Oh yeah, look at that. Did it cut it by half maybe? I figured too. I just gotta check this. Yeah, look at that. Cut it by almost half. This blocked any alpha for sure if there was any other alpha getting through, because this paper may have been a little bit too thin. Definitely stopped all alpha dead. And it also stopped most beta. Not all, but most beta. Let's see about the gamma though. Or, yeah. It's making it through 6 millimeters of lead. That's gamma right there. Only gamma. I'm getting about 600 counts a minute. So we're getting about 600, maybe 600 to 1,000 counts a minute of gamma off of this. The rest of it's beta or alpha. Creepy, huh? Well, anyway, this has been Tom from anti-proton.com, and as awesome as this is, it is still nowhere near as beautiful as this. Not even close. Alright, have fun, be safe, and remember to put everything always inside of a lead container, as I do. 6 to 7 millimeters of lead if possible. Send me your comments, questions, concerns, whatever you think, and you can always respond to this video with videos of things that you have that are neat like this. Alright, bye-bye.